Hey everybody, JD here with your Rational Trader Market Analysis Daily. In today's video, I want to spend some time talking about profiting from patterns. Patterns are so important in trading in so many different ways. But I think I bring a very different perspective to patterns that can be really helpful to your own trading. It should be this rational trader video, by the way, should just be a regular read for anybody that's out there trading, because again, it can be put in your tool belt, used in so many different ways. And today's a perfect example of that. So I wanted to just spend a few minutes in talking about the pattern that was identified today in particular, because it was just a screaming opportunity that I'm not sure a lot of people saw. Maybe they did, but I'm guessing that most didn't. So, what am I talking about exactly? Well, let's start with Bitcoin. And I've said and done videos before on Bitcoin, really noting that in the last 12 months, the leadership position Bitcoin has taken with respect to being a risk on security. It's not really a security. I don't even know what to call it, but it is very much a leading indicator for risk on. If nothing else, one can really derive a lot of good information about market direction looking and watching Bitcoin. So in today's Bitcoin action pre-market, when I woke up this morning, I had seen that Bitcoin had pretty much deteriorated throughout the evening hours. In the early morning hours, Bitcoin was down substantially heading into the market open. What is substantially? Well, it was down 3 to 4% just prior to the market opening. So the conclusion, very general conclusion you can draw from that activity is that today's trading was going to be a risk off moment. Well, look around and survey the landscape of risk on assets in the market. And what did you see? Front and center is Circle. The well, ironically, the stable coin company. No coincidence. And really, there's no correlation between Circle and Bitcoin in terms of being a leading indicator. But what was noticeable was if you looked at Circle pre-market, shares were trading higher, significantly higher. And I thought to myself, okay, that's odd. And given, again, the leadership position of Bitcoin, this doesn't make any sense. This These gains in Circle should be shorted. Now, before the week began, by the way, I noted that Circle trading north of 2 standard deviations above the mean was a great call writing opportunity. The stock jumped on Monday in the first 30 minutes of trading. At that time, a $200 call expiring on Friday, June 20th, or is that, yeah, June 20th is Friday. A June 20 expiration call option could be sold for $5 per contract. Hey, sign me up. Yes, Circle had been rip roaring, is rip roaring, has the potential to continue rip roaring. But in the current macro environment, especially with the geopolitical risk, with volatility higher, uh, now yesterday Bitcoin was higher, so there was no help there, but um, it was an easy trade to identify writing call options on Circle. So in today's action with the stock higher and Bitcoin significantly lower, anybody fading Circle at that time To me, it was just an obvious pattern and an obvious trade that could have been made. I already put my eggs into the $200 basket on the call writing, and I feel very confident that those call options sold for $5 are going to expire worthless. And today's action really just moved us one day closer to that actually happening. Another sector that's rip roaring are the nuclear stocks, and Okla is provides components to these new small reactors, and um, its shares too today, this morning before the market opened, were higher. So again, I mean, these are do not compute moments. And again, getting short Okla at that moment in time, even though this is a rip roaring stock, I know it's hard to do because there's plenty of momentum and bullish behavior in Okla. But really, Bitcoin was telling you everything you needed to know that Okla and Circle, not only was it irrational trading to the upside, that both of these positions were going to close lower at the end of the day. Now you can see here, uh, like Circle, I recommended an $87 strike call option on Okla to expire worthless at the end of the week. And yesterday, you could have sold that contract for $1. It's already trading uh, significantly below that. It might even be in the pennies per contract at today's close. I didn't really check it because I have such a high degree of confidence that the stock is going to get nowhere near $87 a share. And if the United States does indeed get involved in some sort of limited way, it will be limited if we get involved, limited to the extent we'll be dropping bombs on Iran's nuclear facilities. It's very likely the risk on trade, at least for the next day or two, is going to be severely impaired. So, all in all, the pattern going back to Bitcoin was to see this collapse in Bitcoin throughout the trading day. Now, you could argue that when we got to midday, it's absolutely reversed, and you could see or make a case on this rally here for there to be some risk on. I wouldn't necessarily. Uh, this data set, by the way, is much too small. This data set is not. So we'll wait till the overnight again to take another look at things. But at least for today, traders and investors should have been jumping all over that price discrepancy between Bitcoin on the downside and these Momo favorites, Circle Internet Group and Okla, Oklo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but certainly two Momo favorites that were up significantly in pre-market trading at a time when one could easily assign a 95% confidence to shares being lower by the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened. So that's just patterns for profits, folks. That's what we're about here at the Rational Trader, and that's what I'm all about as a rational trader. This is JD for the Rational Trader. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.